What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's going on? Y'all know what it is. It's the end of the day. So, with the end of the day, what always comes up is the COB. Today, I'm chopping it up with Coach Dre, Coach Johnson of the Fort Sam Houston military basketball team. It's finna be interesting, I'm sure. Documentaries, conversation about the culture. We're finna get back to you in a few seconds. COB in the building. Let's go.
Tunes aren't you good? All right. Company, attention.
So as I said, y'all know what it is. It's me, Trey the Commish. Coach, what's good with you?
Nothing much, man. We got like I said, we got this documentary coming out. It's called FSH, A Commitment to Progression.
Okay.
You know, it's just interesting because we just wanted to film our culture, right?
Okay.
I think we got the most unique culture in military basketball. This enshames brotherhood and togetherness, and so we want to catch that on film. And we got a lot of sayings and team mantras and things like that people always find interesting. A big one people used to always ask us about is last year I used to ask my guys what 1 + 1 equals, and they always say 3. That's one of our huge mantras because I always tell them that we're worth far more together than we are apart. So that's what the whole film is about, just kind of like our culture, our build up, the things we do, our grind. And Shot by Jody is the media company that's doing it. Jody is a part of the organization, and he said he just wanted to capture it. He just wanted to capture it on camera. He just wanted everybody to see, that a lot of work is being done for military basketball teams. A lot of work. It's like a 365-day job. During the off season. You got off-season tournaments that start, the huge tournament in Orlando. So it's not like you off from the NBA Finals or the national tournament until the start of Labor Day anymore. You got the tournament in July, and then after July, you start having the tryouts, start talking to you, if you're funded, start talking to MWR about what they're going to do that year. So it's a huge deal. And like I said, this year we're trying to do something different. That's what it's about. We're trying to do something different.
So where does you get the drive or that edge initiative? Like, where does it all start? Tell the people that's out there that don't know about you, who's Coach Dre? What is he about?
Like I said, I was in high school. I was a football player. I wasn't that good at basketball. I played varsity in my senior year because he had to. I went to college. I was the manager for Langston University. The head coach of the women's team was Cheryl Miller, Reggie Miller's sister, and so I was the manager under her. And so I just kind of learned a lot. Got out of college, joined the military. Was playing on Dias Air Force Base team for a little bit, and then they asked me to start coaching. At about 21 years old, and so
so you was early in the game.
Yeah, it was really early. And then so started coaching, and that's what's interesting about this year. Speaking of, it's because, this is the first time I'm ever really going to have a second year with a program. At Dias, I had Dias for a year. Then I went out to Korea. Of course, Korea is a year stint anyway. Then I took a little break from coaching, helped start up the Northwest Military Conference with Mihal Allen. And then, after coaching them for a year, I came down to San Antonio. Took over about 2 weeks before Joe Hall, which is a little late, but, like I said, this year is going to be the second year.
And so I know I see a lot of your social media posts in reference to the workouts and stuff that y'all do, and your claim to saying that it's going to be a grind if you pull up to one of your practices. No, you got tryouts coming up this next week, correct?
Yes, sir.
12th, 14th, and the 16th, right? All right. In which I plan to maybe, depending on what I got going on, I plan to pull up in the building and see what's going on. What has been the you speak of a culture? What has been the culture for FSH in the time frame in which you have been doing it?
He said, I want to ask if Cheryl was like as a coach so bad, but I don't do it. She was tough. Her and a guy, my high school coach, his name is Louis Nelson, is the reason why a lot of people see my demeanor. I get that from them.
Okay.
She was tough. She was so tough on those girls.
She went Oswald to say she was harder girl.
Yeah, okay. They were good. I mean, they had a girl in there named Lynette Holmes. She was a dog. She had played at Arizona, but she got into some stuff out there. So she came down to Langston with Cheryl. But I mean, she was tough. But so in terms of our culture right now, our biggest thing right now. So we every year I give my team three pillars. We need running shoes or basketball shoes. Reed knows what you need.
Put it all in the bag.
Yeah. But right now our biggest thing is belief in brotherhood, right?
Belief in brotherhood, okay.
Belief in brotherhood. You gotta have belief in brotherhood. Because there's gonna be we're gonna be out on the road. Sometimes everything's not gonna be going well. Everything's not gonna be going well. You know, everything all your skills sometimes don't travel with you. So you gotta kind of emphasize on the things that do, and that's toughness, that's belief, and that's brotherhood. And the thing is, those things show up at the end of games. You know, a lot of times we see great teams and close games start to fall apart because they don't have those things. You know, talent always doesn't equate to success. It equates to eyes. It lets people look at you. It brings you attention, but that doesn't guarantee anything. And so that's the reason why we try to be a little different at Fort Sam. You know, we do believe, brotherhood, toughness. You know, last year our three pillars was aggression, connection, and composure. This year our three pillars are elite focus, relentless drive, and faith over confidence. So that's just kind of the culture we build, always having faith in the grind, showing up to the gym, knowing it's going to be hell to pay. I mean, I tell my guys, when you come to the gym, I'm not here to test your limits. I know how tired you get. I know how long you can play. We're here to push them. And so, you know, you get in the gym, you know, I don't take it easy on anybody. Everybody kind of gets the same treatment. You come in there and you grind hard. Anybody that comes in the gym is committed to it. So that's kind of the culture right now at Fort Sam.
Okay, so of course it sounds like you just said, do you get some of this or pull from it, like you just said, from your years under watching Cheryl and just in the watching and seeing things at an early age, and being kind of like thrown in or baptized in the fire with military basketball, and has it been helpful?
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously working with Cheryl helps. I mean, she's an all-time great, not just women's basketball player, just basketball player, period. She scored 131 points in high school. She's amazing in terms of the basketball community. But I mean, like I said, that's part of it. You know, not being a player is a huge part of it because I don't have that confidence to where it's like, oh, I think I know this. I think I know that. I'm a coach because I couldn't play at that high of a level. I'm always looking to learn. I'm looking to learn from the players on my team. You know, some players on my team, some players in military basketball have played at a high level of basketball, right? And, you know, to think because you're a coach or because, you know, you can't learn something from these guys. At the end of the day, we want to go coach at the level that some of these players have played. So it's like lean into that. Don't get me wrong. You coach them hard, but it's just that's where I am. I'm always looking to learn. I'm always looking to, you know, eat off of people, especially guys that's played at a high level of basketball.
Okay. What have been I know you say you were y'all in the Joe Hall Classic last year?
We were.
Okay. What was the finish to that?
We went winless.
Okay.
We didn't win any games.
So what did you take from that? And then in part, because I know you, like you said, you have a full year now, so you have an opportunity coming up when it comes up again. Okay.
I mean, well, I'll say we didn't deserve to win a game at Joe Hall. You know, we didn't. Huge. That's it. When I say faith in the grind, that means that there's a price to prosperity that you have. In order to lift the weight of achievement, you have to pay it. You know, Brett Cannon, he's our amazing sports director. Him and Cody Hildreth down in Fort Sam, they asked me to coach because they wanted to get a team together. But by the time we got everything together, it's about 2 weeks before Joe Hall. We didn't deserve to be the team at Joe Hall if we started practicing 2 weeks before it. We just didn't deserve it. And so, you know, we went winless, rightfully so.
Okay, which is understanding, of course, being that a very short expectation, and I'm very sure you use that in a way to turn that around. What was the message that you gave from being winless in that tournament going forth, knowing that you were the new head of the organization?
Just stay obsessed with the chase, right? The capture is going to come, right? The capture is going to be there. We're always going to be in the moment of the capture. What separates great teams is what do you do in the chase? Are you actually committed to, coming to practice? Because all this is volunteer. You don't have to do any of this. You don't have to do any of this, right? Yeah. But how much are you committed to the team? Because just because you don't have to do anything, doesn't mean that it's not required, right? This is still a basketball team, all right? It still takes certain things to win. So when you're doing that, it's just like that's kind of the environment you want to build on the team, get them to buy into it. That's the biggest thing at a military basketball program is getting guys to buy into it. And so after Joe Hall tournament, basically I put out, it was a little rough because some of the guys aren't used to that type of thing, right? Okay. Just to put it simply, some of the guys aren't used to that type of, kind of running, kind of grind. So, I lost a lot of guys.
Really?
A lot of guys. Most of the year we had probably 8 or 9 people most of the year. So simply because, people are scared of that grind. But I can't help that. The only thing I can do is build a culture. So I built that culture, and I kept that culture. And when you're a great player, you come to appreciate a culture like that. Mm-hmm. You come to appreciate a culture to where when you walk into the gym, you're not just doing stuff just to do it, not going through drills just to do it. I tell my guys, when you come into this gym, you come in with a purpose, right? That's our biggest thing, purpose, right? You can talk about perfect practice, but purposeful practice, something that's useful. So every time my guys come into the gym, they know that we're going to do something useful. There's going to be hell to pay. And so that's just the culture I built. And while it didn't work last year, after, the year before I got there for Sam, their last record, I believe, was 2-12.
2-12.
We went 8-6. We had the best point differential in our conference. We lost close games and then blew out the teams that we did win. So that was a problem of consistency, that falls kind of on my part because my team should be finishing games better. But like I said, it's about improvement, and that's the reason why the name of the documentary is A Commitment to Progression. Not being satisfied with, we did improve. Being satisfied with potential is a huge thing because, that's a word that's not allowed in my gym, potential, right? Because, champions don't have potential. Potential is a pitiful excuse for non-production. You don't hear about successful people having potential. Potential is how people describe what you can do but don't, right? Okay. So that's not how it works in our gym. You actually have to do it. It's about production and execution. So that's kind of the culture we built.
So in that, speaking of the potential and the lack of the not speaking on potential but production, what is it that you're doing without giving up too much on your organization, what you do for outside of what people see on your social media posts? What is it doing? What is it that you're doing differently to get your players to buy in and that are actually being productive?
Just being myself.
Jazz is so silly.
just being myself, really. Just being myself. I don't do anything special. I'm just myself. Most guys that see me coach know how emotional I am. I'm an
emotional person. Okay,
that's no secret. That's no secret. But that emotion, the reason why, because some people look at it and wonder like, he's just yelling. That's another reason why we got that documentary coming out. It's like I said, it's culture. And then my players know my biggest word, my most important word is standard, right? What is your standard? What is the minimum amount of things you're going to do in the gym? Your standard determines everything because when you get into that game and things aren't going right, most teams, they start to become selfish. They start to look for heroes, versus my team. I tell them we got to dig deeper into our principles, the things that we set our standard. Because that's all that matters. When you go into that game, things are going to turn around. But when you start to slip, you get unorganized. Players become selfish. They start thinking about themselves, So that's where we're different. Like I said, you come into that gym, you can almost cut the tension in the room from the jump of practice. That's the environment I try to build, that we're just going to grind it out. Believe in your brothers. 1 + 1 = 3, no matter what. Those guys they got your back, right? So you don't have to worry about being on an island because you got connection. You'll never be on the island. So that's just the environment we build. And if you get guys to buy into it and they commit to it, hopefully we get something special. We're yet to see the results.
Yes, sir. What's good, BA? What's going on, fam? Glad to have you in formation. That this late day formation. What's good with you, Coach Wayne, Dr. Dre, Luther Johnson? How do you react when a player challenges you back? I noticed you. I'll tell you, Wayne, man. I noticed you said you were always willing to learn. When that learning becomes the moment, I'm curious to know how do you handle that situation, which is a good question, actually. So what you saying that you're always open to learn. How do you handle the adversity of a player basically stepping forward and basically, especially if it's a player that seemingly has more knowledge than you, how do you handle them challenging you in that moment?
It doesn't happen that much, but because if challenging, what do you mean by challenging? Like I say something and they say something back?
Yeah. Or you talk about running a set or a certain set and why you want to use this particularly, and then they challenge you as opposed to saying that not happening.
No, because the thing is, like I said, that's where it may be difficult for some players.
Okay.
Because the thing is, my job as a coach is to get a group of men to do one goal. They got one objective. But they have we have 12 guys. That means they have 12 different ways of doing it.
Okay.
If you don't believe in what I'm doing, I didn't say agree with it. See, that's the difference. People think
true that
same thing. Hey, coach, I think something different, but I believe in what you're doing, right? You need to believe in what I'm doing. So I have a zero tolerance for that. Now, can you say, hey, coach, I think this, and I'll listen to you. I listen to any player. Hey, coach, I think this, or you pull me to the side, but challenging me in front of players, that's not. I mean, there's no solution to that because that's grounds to get you kicked off the team. Because as a player, you have a decision. You can either be a part of the problem or the solution. When you challenge a coach in front of the entire team, you choose to be a part of the problem, no matter the situation. No matter what happened before, you choose to be a part of the problem. So, yeah, no, I mean, there's zero tolerance policy for that.
Okay, of course, like you said, the demeanor comes across, of course, like no tolerance, zero tolerance, zero F's given, in which saying. So we spoke about it, but how really does it? Give me an estimate of how many players you had to quote unquote dismiss from the team, or you dismiss, or they dismiss themselves due to the fact of your coaching style.
So Fort Sam lost 6 players due to my coaching staff last year. My coaching style, I'm down in Killeen right now. Supposed to be working out with a few of the Army guys.
Okay, Echoes. Okay, I'll track it.
Yeah,
I was wondering what Echoes Echoes in San Antonio. But okay, I got you.
Yeah, that's. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
About how many people did you say you lost?
We lost about 6 guys last year. I mean, our guys that's in here tell you. I mean, it doesn't offend me, right? If you want to go to an easier program, go ahead. If you don't want to play for anymore because it's too much, or you don't want to commit yourself to a standard, that's a personal issue. But what I can't allow is for you to come in and live up to a different standard than everybody else. So it's either you're going to buy in completely or not be a part of it. Because, I mean, like I said, and that's not tyrannical, right? Because people sacrifice. People have kids. People bring their kids to the gym.
Correct.
We travel.
Again, it's voluntarily.
Yeah, we travel. Even though, like I said, my players are in a different situation than most players in military basketball when it comes to the traveling aspect of it. But still, it's time consuming. So you can't expect guys. You can't have different levels of commitments on teams. And so for the ones that don't want to make that commitment, it is what it is.
I got you. Okay. So like you said, being in this area in Fort Sam, Houston, basically, I guess you could say southern Texas for the most part, not as remote as El Paso, I guess you could say, or areas. What do you do to get your games in, or for the most part, or do you even worry about that? Now I think about it. What do you do for repetitions?
I mean, we play local colleges. I play military teams. You just schedule the games. That's it. That's the other big part that I think that all coaches should do. You got to make sure you schedule games because you got these guys coming in the gym 3-4 times a week practicing, and they got to just play basketball. That's how you keep guys interested. It's playing basketball. So I play basketball games. That's it. Get games in. Always get games in. That's how you keep guys interested.
The other day, U10 just was on for a short during while the Jason Lasfaciano and Commissioner Mike Myers was on for the NBA, Military Basketball Association. Will Fort Sam Houston be a part of that association this year to have to be consistent, or will y'all be independent?
We're going to be a part of the Military Basketball Association. Okay. I'm not comfortable because I haven't spoken to my team because this is no matter what, I can be tough. This is a players program. The moment the players decide that they sick of I ain't gonna cuss. They sick of me. They can get rid of me. So that's something. But I mean, we're not there yet. We're not there. I'm not gonna. I believe in what Mike Myers is doing in the NBA. I want to make that clear. But it's just that there's certain things I don't agree with. Not necessarily with Mike Myers, Jason Lasfaciano, Al Mayon. It's just, kind of cowardice coaches right now going on. Plain and simply, that's the easiest way to put it. I hear things like my team has a competitive advantage because we're in JBSA. A competitive advantage is a condition or a rule or something structurally or institutionally, right, that helps you get an advantage over your opponents.
Almost like a PED, basically.
Yeah, like being in JBSA is not only not at a competitive advantage, it's a competitive disadvantage. All right, let's establish that now.
What does that mean? Yes.
Currently at my base, Fort Sam Houston is a training base. 70% of the active duty cannot play on my team because they're in training, right? So, and then the ones that are active duty, they're most likely in service to that training unit. So they work on weekends. So we've got a guy, his name's Jeremy Terry. He's our starting point guard. He works 3 out of 4 weekends a month. So he can't even be a part of the team this year. It's like, and then, then what do they say? Well, now you get a whole nother base to pull from Lackland. Basically the Air Force version of the Army training base. 70% training at Lackland. That's literally where we hold our base. Everybody has to go there in order to join the Air Force. That's where we hold our BMT. So you can't use 70% of the personnel on that base. The difference is players and personnel cannot be included when it comes to competitive advantages. But that's what they're trying to do because coaches in the NBA, not all of them, like I said, I won't let 1 or 2 affect because, like I said, what the NBA's vision and what they're trying to do for military basketball is astronomical. But 1 or 2 bad seeds, they try to give themselves competitive advantages by making this outcry that, these other teams are cheating. Because at the end of the day, what it is, they're intimidated by certain players. Right.
Oh, okay.
Because, and then as for the JBSA thing, I was coaching last year. I had players from all over JBSA.
Okay.
I did for these coaches that's talking, I did every single verification process for their tournament with those players from Lackland, with those players from Fort Sam. It was not brought up. But we went through the summer. Fort Sam went out to Orlando.
Okay.
I've talked to people from other teams. I talked to coaches. I talked to everybody. All right, in military basketball, it was not brought up. And like I said, I'm not going to say the player's name, but a specific player was posted, and it was kind of like known that he's going to be playing with Fort Sam. That's the moment that this was brought up. All right. So, like I said, last year, I didn't use no Lackland players for exemptions last year. All right. And these are the same set of rules in place. The moment I started hearing that something needed to be changed is when this player was brought up. That's plain and simply, that's cowardice, right? That's you're scared of a certain player, or maybe you're not scared, or maybe you attach some type of aura to this certain player to where you can't even just bring it to yourself that he just wants to compete. He's doing it the hard way. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing it the easy way. He's getting it out the mud and doing it the hard way. But you got these coaches, these tyrants that are coaches, because that's what a tyrant is, somebody that tries to keep their control by destroying or eradicating other organizations. They they talk and they say these things, and now there's a point. We just spent the first 15 minutes of this episode talking about culture, right? The culture I build, of brotherhood, belief. I abide by that. The reason why I can talk and the reason why I can coach as hard as I do is because I hold myself to an even higher standard.
Okay.
Coach. What type of man would I be after saying all this stuff about brotherhood, togetherness? You know, some of these guys are close friends. They weren't friends before the team. You know, we eat together. We go to each other's, you know, kids' birthday parties, things like that. And I have to walk into that gym and cut somebody due to the groans of tyrants? No, that's just not an option for me. That's just not. I have to go into my gym and we got a player who I'm currently using an exemption on. He drives 2 hours to practice.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to, Brandon. You know, it wasn't a problem. Like I said, I had JBSA guys last year, and I got my ass kicked. I went down to the NBA Finals in Wichita with 5, and I got drugged through the mud 40 minutes at a time. 40 minutes at a time. I went winless there. 40 minutes at a time. I got drugged, and I took it on the chin because I believe in my program. I believe in my players.
The grind.
When I don't. Right? I believe in my players, in my program. And so what they say, build a program. Go build a program. Go out, recruit players. Go find them. Go find them. I did that. I built it. Now, is the team good? I mean, we ain't did shit. That's the crazy part about it.
You ain't playing nobody. You ain't sit up and shut them up yet or nothing.
We can go lose every game, but you're intimidated by an idea.
Okay.
That's
on paper. Basically on paper.
Okay. We can lose every game, and all this has been done for nothing. So, like I said, it's a crazy world with some of these competing coaches, and then it's the NBA's job to look at it, right? Because if coaches are complaining, I get it. I get why Al Mayon is like, well, let's take a look at this. They have to. Full Hood. Anyway. I'm looking at him.
Like you get out of another. But I mean, I'm trying to. I love to keep the peace. But it be the media in me that wants to just ask the question: who are the coaches? Or you know, what I'm saying that I guess if everyone's in the culture or who's around can basically tell potentially who like the players are.
I don't know who the coaches are for a fact.
Okay. But you know it's out there. You know the word is out there.
Yeah, it's out there because it's been discussed with me.
Like
Commissioner Myers said yesterday, you know, I had a conversation with Al, and they gave me. They told me how they felt about the situation.
Okay.
And basically, I mean, like I said, that's their job is to respond to the complaints of coaches. But I want coaches to lace them up, line them up. All right, I get the same opportunity to win and lose that you get. We get a 94-foot box to determine who's going to win. You get the same 94 fucking feet. So it's just go out and compete. I did it. I got my teeth kicked in. And I did something about it, according to the rules. According to the rules. I built them according to the rules that I built my team to last year. All right, that's all that happened. That's it. But now something changed.
So it sounds like I swear, and I'm not one to stir the pot, but I try to pay attention and keep my eye and ears to the ground. It sounds like something similar to what Coach Walcott went through in reference to having to go through and know that there's rules and regulations. And of course, what you do is I'm not going to say you find a way to manipulate the rules and regulations, but you find a way to win within the confines of the rules. And so what it sounds like what I'm hearing from you is that you're finding a way to get better within the confines of the rules, and that seemingly there's people that has a problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, like, Paul Parker said, "Coach, I'm out of retirement." I mean, that's another thing. I hope Paul comes out to the team. That's a guy that every team needs. Every single team needs. Like I said, Me and Wayne are obviously me and Wayne are friends. I can't speak on that situation.
Okay.
I can't speak on that situation. I believe at the time I was either at Fairchild in Korea. So I don't know what was going on with Wayne. I do know that the same player is involved.
Correct. I'm tracking. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But like I said, that's coaches. That's not that. Mike Myers doesn't have a team. All right. Jason LaFaciano doesn't have a team.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So unless it is them, which I don't believe it is, if people are trying to see
basically it's South Carolina.
I believe it's competing coaches that compete at a high level in this league, trying to make sure that people stay in their place. Because like I said, that's their job. That's their job as commissioners and things is to make sure their league is being ran fairly.
Yeah, close loopholes.
Yeah, they have a vision for the league, and they want to make sure. But the groans, especially if these voices are powerful, then
okay,
what can I do about it? And then I heard somebody say, "Well, why am I coming on here?" Next week they're having the coaches summit, but unfortunately it's during my tryout, so I'm not going to be able to attend. And so there's been nasty rumors going around about my team. This is the only opportunity I have to get my side of the story out. Mm-hmm. And so that's all I did, was trying to get my side of the story out.
That's what I want to say, but I'm trying not to get reported. So and you know what? It seems unfortunate in the situation, of course, because I like I said again, I'm not one to stir, but it sounds so similar, like this conversation has been had before. It's in the same players, same situation, just same, just a different location, and right. It's.
I mean, but and that's the crazy part, is it has to be centered around that player, right? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, when Wayne Walcott had Colton, Wayne had accomplished 20 times as much as I have at this point.
Correct. Right? Okay.
I'm not going to be pretentious. I'm not going to act like I'm just. No, I mean, I haven't accomplished much in this league. That's probably why I don't get the respect I deserve. I haven't accomplished much. Wayne was an accomplished coach. So I thought maybe that's why, but then when it happens to me, then it's like, oh, well, maybe guys are just, is that what coaches want to do? Alienate good players because they're great at this game? That's what we want to do? No, that can't be what we want to do. That's not the culture that those coaches want to set in the NBA. Can't be. That they want to alienate players because they play at a higher level than most players. So, you just gotta, like Coach Mitchell said, just lace them up. Just lace them up. Just lace them up. That specific player, he's won tournaments. That specific player has lost tournaments. Mm-hmm. But just lace them up. Lace them up. Beat them. That's it. When I was coaching against Cole, I was excited. I was excited at the idea of my team having to play him, because you step up to the challenge and you just play the game. That's it. That's all you got to do. Step up to the challenge. You got to have confidence. Your players see your confidence as a coach. They see what you do. They see whether or not you have confidence in them. So step up, man. Like I don't want to hear all that other stuff. Step up. I don't want to hear competitive advantage. No, I just 3 years ago, you could have combined Forsam, Lackland, Randolph.
It wouldn't have been of it.
Either way, you could have combined every goddamn Texas team there was, and it would have sucked. So competitive advantages aren't players. They're institutions. They're conditions. So, like I said, all these other coaches that's talking, just strap them up, man. I got my teeth kicked in. Competing with an AATC base is hard. Everything's. And I love Coach Brandon, and I don't want to, and he knows that. And this is just about him and the struggle he goes through. Since I can remember, the worst team in military basketball has been Shepherd Air Force Base, because they cannot field a team. They're ATC base. Okay. Their base is there solely for aircraft maintenance training. And you can't have tech schoolers on your base. I watched Coach Brandon come down to Wichita last year and be the 5th man on his team. Be the 5th guy. That's how hard it is to fill out a roster. I went down to Wichita with 5 of my guys. Being at an ATC base, that's how hard it is to fill out the roster. Coach Brandon played all 40 minutes. I mean, I salute him. He separated himself from me because I've never done that, and I probably never will. From every other, I mean, like, no, I'm being honest. He showed a sacrifice that Coach Brandon from Shepherd, Brandon Taylor, I believe is his name. He showed a sacrifice that most coaches wouldn't do, but he had to do that sacrifice because of the challenge he's in, being in the ATC base. So now that I've overcome that challenge and I've recruited, I've been there. I mean, I'm in my gym. My players were joking yesterday because on Thursday I had some business to handle. And I canceled our workouts. I'm in my gym 5 out of 7 days a week, at least. Whether that's working out with our team workouts, our workout players individually who ask, from 1 through 15. Can be my best player, can be my worst player. It could be a potential player. We give back to the gym. We train with kids. We do a lot of things for our gym. So like I said, it's a program. It's not me gathering talent, trying to get a loophole. It's a program that players buy into and they have to commit to in order to be a part of.
So which it goes back to, like you said, your building is a program. So of course, with a program, like you say, different from a team, being a program, you developing your players. Now, in this particular instance, seemingly you have a player that is a lot more experienced, a lot more developed than others. That is a problem. He's a problem. So with that being said, you seemingly have a bunch of kickback from potentially other coaches that feel that he shouldn't be on your squad and you should be continuing to develop talent.
Well, see, and see, that's the part about it, right? That's the part about it. Like I said, the thing is, these other coaches, they want to beat them.
But they
want to beat them, right? So here's the problem. The problem is because, I mean, the way they explain it, I would just have to use them as one of my exemptions, which, I mean, the fact that I have to use an active duty player as an exemption, so he'd still be on the team, but it's the fact that we will make our team weaker. Because also part of your exemptions in the NBA are civilian contractors, dependents, and vets.
So you lose
active duty members. Yeah, I use active duty members as exemptions, and I lose out. That means I'll lose my dependents, civilians, and vets. So
Dwayne asked a good question. Where is it that they're wanting him to play? In this case, it sounds like the only place he'll be able to play is on Lackley.
I mean, like I said, they want him to play. They just don't want his team to have. They don't want his team to be able to compete. They want his teams, or they want him to compete, but they don't want his teams to look like, oh man, those guys look a little too good. I mean, as of right now, we're lucky. We're lucky. We just have the personnel in San Antonio, which once again, it's all on paper. I could suck as a coach. We could go out here and get drugged. They take our asses behind the shed and beat on them. And it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. So, like I said, stay in your circle. Don't talk about what's going on my team and my program, what players I have, what we're doing.
Which that's the league to worry about. What you're saying, the league and the association, that's their job to worry about.
And the association wasn't worried about it last year, but they have to worry about it this year. They weren't worried about it all summer. And I've spoken to people in the association, high-level people in the association, that's on that council that Commissioner Myers and Jason spoke of yesterday, and it was not brought up. The moment it was brought up is when that specific player was posted. So if that, at the end of the day, now how we got to those points can be a little convoluted, but everything else isn't. It's simple. That's the truth. I had JBSA players on my team last year. It was not a problem. I got kicked in the teeth. I built the team. I go and build the program, go out and recruit, get people to buy in according to the same set of rules as last year, and now it's a problem. Like I said, the in-between, that's the truth of it. That's the truth. I did the orders checked in last year. Guys' orders said JBSA, Lackland, or, Fort Sam, Brookline Medical Center, whatever, and it was fine. So, I mean, where do we go from there?
That is a good question, and I wonder that for I know for like you said, Jason. I'm very sure Jason and them called you after they got off, and because of course your specific situation came up, which you said is a very unique situation. And what we find, of course, if we look at rules and ARs and all that type of stuff, and just in general, when a problem comes up, you find a solution for the problem, but is in that time frame. So now, what I understand from what they were saying is, in which I took from it, in which before I even knew what the situation truly was, it kept coming up in my mind because Colton is stationed on Lackland, correct?
No.
Oh, he's not stationed on Lackland. He's stationed on Sam Houston?
Yeah.
Okay, he's stationed on Sam Houston. So
his office where he works out of is Lackland.
Okay, okay, got you.
Which is what Mr. Richardson was alluding to yesterday on the show.
Okay, I got you.
We're literally like they make it seem like this place. When you're driving through San Antonio and you're about to go to these bases, the exit on the damn freeway says JBSA.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
This ain't no figment of my imagination.
Yeah,
they've seen the orders that say JBSA. Like, come on, man, get out of here with that.
Brandon Mitchell brings up a good point. Everyone is basically just a couple of PCS seasons away, a move from being great or being lackluster, and at the end of it.
Literally.
so yes, Armed Forces right now. Gold is a goal. Gold is the goal. Joint basis has changed the game, correct? Reed says, yeah. So everyone with their comments and stuff, PCS season at the Armed Forces. You had 4 PC season caught the beat down. Oh my God. So yeah, and which is unfortunate. And Mike Mal, that I recall when was Mike Richardson was talking about the codes and stuff like that are on orders, because Colton obviously is a service member, Army, he's a soldier, but works on the air works on the Air Force base, has an office on the Air Force base, in which so it makes it different, which is it sounds very unique. And so now that is a problem. Now hopefully the NBA are able to come up with a solution for you, and that suits every coach, or there could be an understanding. It doesn't look like they're moving the goalposts.
That's where when you say suits every coach, it already feels like I'm the only joint base in the Military Basketball Association. That's another straightforward fact. Okay. So literally, we're having meetings about. I can't speak for every other team situation. Okay. In terms of orders, saying joint base, we're the only one currently in the NBA. We're the only true joint base in the NBA as of now. So we're going to come up with a rule that only affects one team. That's crazy to me. That's insane. It's camaraderie around coaches. The rules allow Colton to play. End of story.
Correct. And this is coming. Commissioner Mike Myers, commissioner of the NBA, straightly stated that the Colton is legit in state. That's what I'm saying. That's what it is, and it isn't. I know the goalpost isn't being moved in this action. It seems like it was a rule that has to be established due to the fact of it wasn't thought of. Now it's present. It's prevalent now. So I would hope that if the coaches, whoever it was, or a case like that, they're listening and they hear what's being said and it's understood. And it's not. I'm sure this rule isn't. Let's call it the Colton rule. Let's just say what it is. Just say what it is. That's
awful. Like, that's terrible, man.
It's the Colton rule. It just say it's a. You know what I'm saying? We got poison pills. We got the Bird rule. Now we got the Colton rule in the NBA. The Colton rule has been established.
I mean, I was around when Ali was a dominant guy in this game. And Ali was the same way. Having him on your team meant you probably had a strong chance of winning the tournament. Just having him. This is no different. This is no different. So lace him up. I've seen Ali lose. Did our leadership reach out to Coach Johnson? So I talked to Al Mayon. I talked to Al Mayon yesterday after the show. Al. So yesterday when I spoke to Al, he wasn't aware of all the details.
Okay.
He wasn't aware of all the details of everything that was happening. So maybe the NBA has a fresh new look on it, in terms of what's going on. But yeah, when I spoke to him, there's Colton Rule. There is no Colton Rule. But yeah, when I spoke, it's
yeah, you know what, Coach Bartley, I'm not going to front. You came to mind, but I got you. I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But yeah, and then the reason why Full Hood, I mean, at the end of the day, Full Hood ain't talking about nothing. Not nothing. Not nothing. I couldn't. I mean, they getting kicked out. Yeah, they getting kicked out the tournament if they come across us.
Okay.
Full Hood, but I mean, yeah, if they're turning by Fort Sam, when they see Full Hood's team, they see Full Hood's team, I know exactly what Full Hood has. Oh my God. If they intimidated now, they're gonna be intimidated a little later. You can believe that. So we're not intimidated at Fort Sam at all. I mean, I ain't gonna say it, but anyway. So we're not worried at all. But like I said, man, just compete. Just compete, man. Just compete. Like I said, like Commissioner Myers just said, there's no Colton Rule in the NBA. Mm-hmm. No matter how hard these other coaches may try to come up with one.
And Courtney brings up a good question, in which it was what Dwayne said, which was interesting. Actually, when we was on the call the other day with the NBA, and we was talking about what has it ever been because technically, is it possible? I think when you look at it, maybe not. Is it possible for there to be a team? Commissioner Myers, you're on. Although I know this isn't necessarily the question posed to you, it should go to Al Mayon. But would it have been possible to just have a JBSA team?
So there's that part. So if we were to have a JBSA team, what does that mean? Lackland doesn't have his own program, or Fort Sam doesn't have his own program. Marcus is proud of the program he's built at Lackland, just like I have pride in the program I built at Fort Sam. That's the reason why we have different names. JBSA program is something that would be considered. Of course, that would be between, Brett Cannon, Mike Richardson, Cody Hildreth, and all the other powers that decide that. That's not my call. Because our gym does an amazing job of supporting us.
Ron is silly, man.
Yeah. So that's not my call. In terms of Dwayne Reed, all those guys, that's their call in terms of us having a joint team. But like I said, I'm pretty sure, because like I said, Marcus Hollins is proud of the program he's built. And then there's that aspect of it. As of right now, everybody knows, there's no secret. There's two military basketball entities out there, two conglomerates. You got the NMBT and the NBA. Coach Richardson is over the NMBT. And he's also, that he's located in Lackland. So, I mean, that's just not until they establish. Like I said, that's not my conversation.
Gotcha. I feel you. Gotcha. 100. So now, basically, you're put it up. What do you have? What's up next after? I know you're basically getting ready to have next week. You're going to have tryouts and establish a team, a base team. Once the team is established, what's next on the docket for Fort Sam Houston?
Like I said, we got the documentary. We're going to be working on that. But I mean, the documentary is for the media team to decide. Okay, can you hear me still?
Yeah, okay, I got you. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, Joe Watson and Shot by Jody Media Company, they're doing an amazing job capturing some of the moments, just little exchanges between me and players, catching those moments that to where, they see in the game, they don't just catch those moments that other people don't see. The only thing they see in the game is me kind of, getting on players. They don't see, you know, the camaraderie. I love those guys. Like they're my family. So
just so yo.
Hey, tell Wayne, listen, we was all on here for that little reveal of the tournament.
That's where Coach where Brandon at. Yo,
figure out how to beat our Army. Tell Ron, don't get on here with that. The Air Force don't know how to beat our Army because that's what the Air Force does.
This is those in these comments. But okay, Brandon, chill, yo. But back. Okay, so the documentary, you say that's going to go up. What as far as the team? Where are y'all? Do y'all have any games lined up? Any tournaments particularly lined up or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean October 7th we'll be playing Lackland.
Okay,
little battle of San Antonio. We're gonna fill out the rest of week, which I mean like every weekend. Navy has a team. Navy got a team. But every weekend we're trying to play a military basketball team. Right now we got the 7th and the 15th locked up, or the 7th and the 14th locked up. If there's any coaches, like I said, you guys can come down to our gym. We'll pay for the refs. You just got to show up. If there's any coaches interested, just hit me up. We're going to be in the NBA Veterans Day tournament for sure.
Okay.
For sure. That's our documentary ends on the NBA Veterans Day tournament.
That's why Fro's making that silly comment.
Hey, listen, tell Ryan. Hey, look, I got to cheer for the home team, man. I obviously the All Army guys. You know they're my friends and everything, but I got to cheer for the Air Force.
I got you. You feel it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically where we're at right now. You know, we got a Veterans Day tournament. Joe Hall. We're really excited about that tournament. The NBA is going to Puerto Rico this year. That's going to be insane. Just trying to put out a good program, a good brand. That's basically where we're at. So we're going to take place in anything. We're going to try to go to the Capital Classic. We're going to try to get some of those teams that we don't get to play, the joint base Langleys and all those other, you know, those teams that we don't get to play into the national tournament. And then when you play games against them, you know, that's the best thing because there's no question for the NMBT on who's better because you got 40 minutes to determine it. So that's where Fort Sam is at.
I see your strategy. I see the strategy.
Paying a price. That's where we're at. Paying a price. That's literally where we're at. We don't want people to assume anything about us. We want to earn it the hard way. Right now, we haven't earned anything. We're at level 0. We're gonna have faith in our grind. You know, faith in our journey, and just keep on grinding. Taking teams out or playing these teams one by one, chop by chop. That's all that matters. So, I mean, that's just where the Fort Sam program is at right now.
Okay, so a couple of tournaments. Hold on, what did Ron say? I got you, Ron. I'm already seeing you. You in my schedule, fam? You in my schedule? If I get all the, I plan to. It's already. I just got to reach out to sit up and see who's willing to. So yes, sir, I got you, bro. And we're gonna do it based around so we can make sure that you can be on. So you know what I'm saying? We definitely can make it happen. Men's and women's, 2 separate days to get everyone in there. Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, all so you can sit up and get on and talk that stuff.
So yeah, I mean, listen, all this stuff, the Air Force, tell them when these other branches have won as much as the Air Force has, then they can talk. Until then, you know, they just recent. This is recent stuff.
Just recent.
Just recent. You know what I'm saying?
Golden State.
Yeah. They're not good at this. The thing about the Air Force, that dog is in us. It's not on us. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different.
When it has ever been. Sorry, Justin Johnson. I'm a fan. You need to anything, reach out. Line of communication is always open. Dwayne said, "Stop it." Air Force talk. Ron Wilding.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you, Fort Cavassier ain't talking about nothing.
Fort Cavassier.
Fort Cavassier ain't talking about nothing.
Yo.
Nothing. He said, as long as I don't have to listen to Wayne, I'm on there. I don't blame you, Mitch. I don't blame you at all. So I saw an indeed.
Y'all, wow, man! I love the military for basketball.
Hey, listen, like I said, when you're the best, everybody knows when it comes to all armed forces tournaments, the Air Force is I mean, like I said, the Army is dominant right now. Shit, My fault, Troy. But
you good.
They got the best players. But we're gonna see. That's why we got October and November. For Sam hits a D3. For Cavazos up 60.
Haley.
Bro, Haley is hilarious. I didn't know he was a comedian. He woke up just now, obviously. Yeah, come on, let's be for real. Let's be for real for a second there, Haley. Haley doesn't believe that. And you know he doesn't. But I'm gonna tell my team he does.
The bulletin material.
Bulletin board material right there, man. We ain't worried about Haley. We ain't worried about Ronald Traps, Liedrick. I ain't gonna say their whole team, but that's three of them. That's three of them. So we'll see. We'll see what for Cavassier, for Casa Amigos, whatever their name is. Yeah, we'll see what they're talking about.
So definitely, it may be potentially in those. That sounds. I mean, they just up the street, so 2 hours up the road.
Just up the street important. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, never mind. But I mean, we'll have a great chance to compete against Fort. Yeah, them, the one with the start with the C. We'll have a great chance to compete against them. We'll have all year.
All year. So that's that. Is Fort? I mean, is it where is is Fort Cavazos? They're going to participate in the NBA as well.
I mean, that's Coach Mac's decision, and as of right now, the last time I talked to Coach Mac, that's a yes.
Oh, okay, so it makes it even more easier to compete and have a reason for bragging rights.
Yeah. I mean, they know what's up. They know it ain't nothing but an ass kicking 2 hours down the road waiting on.
It go both ways, huh? We can do it. You can do it there. You can do it here.
That's another one of our mantras. FSH, any mission, anywhere, any ass kicking, any team. So if Fort Cavazos want to come on down and participate, they welcome for sure.
Handing them out left and right. So I know, Coach, you got to get to the gym and get to getting working them out. Echoes is probably out getting them shots up now. Haley said basically when you got off the podcast. So of course, any last words or anything else you got to say in reference to even one pushing out the documentary, two in reference to saying that Fort Sam Houston's had that ass whoopings, or three, or three. What you got to say, Coach?
Like I said, I'll end it by saying I won't say there's no hard feelings because some of these coaches that I hear are talking, I thought were my friends. But, compete. That's the best thing. That's what I do. It doesn't matter how great the team is. They talk about that 15, 16 4-hood. They talk about those days. I coached Dyes during those days. I went down to 4-hood, competed and lost. But my team competed. And that's all my teams do. I can't speak on the result. But I can speak on the grind and the work we put in. I can't speak on the journey. I can't speak on my players' belief in each other because that's what we do. So that's all I want people to know. I'm not doing anything different. Players don't get treated differently, preferential treatment. For Sam isn't running some type of NIL program like people like to say. I just build a culture and get players to believe in it. So that's all I can say. He said, "You've been watching Coach Prime. Coach Prime been watching me."
Say less. That's what's up.
You and Lackland are the champs. My bad, champ.
Everyone, of course, you know what I'm saying. So, of course, it's true enough, Robert, like you just said, respect. Of course, the Coach Johnson, as he's, came up here, laid it down. Jazz ain't no NILs down this parts in these parts.
So, Coach, yeah, we'll be having our documentary coming out. The first episode is going to be released in October. It's a lot of stuff. We got some interesting. Like I said, you build a program, you build a culture, and you never know who'll believe in it. I'll say that. You know, there's so much to the other side of fear. That's another one of our huge things. Sometimes you got to explore the other side of fear. You'll learn something about yourself. So that's what these coaches need to do. Replace that doubt, you know, with some faith. And actually believe in your teams, believe your teams can compete. And they probably can. Like I said, my team can go winless this season. And then they done made this stink about nothing. That's all I got to say on the matter.
Of course, y'all hear it first from Coach Johnson. Greatly appreciate you for jumping on, closing out the day on the COB. Of course, anytime we sit up and have anything for the late afternoon where we got something to get off your chest or just have a conversation and talk about it, y'all know where to find me. Of course, you know what I'm saying, Trade the Commish, Coach Dre, Coach Justin Johnson, Fort Sam Houston. Y'all know where to find him as well. You heard what he said. He said it with his chest. Y'all know where to find him as well.
Yeah, and then we'll get you some gear. Try just inbox me. We'll get you some gear next time you host these shows. Wear some Fort Sam gear. You can be a part of that. You know, we're a program surrounded by belief. You know, our supporters believe in us. Everybody. So you know, you can be a part of that belief.
Well, like I said, I'm pulling up. I'll be down. Like I'm on Lackland, so I'll be coming right around the corner to check out the games and maybe some of the if I'm not at work, some of the trials and stuff like that. I mean, so I'm here, bro.
If you're associated with military basketball, now if you're not associated with military basketball, Fort Sam does have closed gym practices. Nobody else is going to be in there. But anybody else, just hit me up if you want to come. Our gym staff will let you in. You talking about you ready now, Jay?
They coming. Hey, peace out, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Check out First Formation Warner Sports Talk on Monday because there's going to be so much going down with the pigskin. Let's go, Trojans. Fight on. We out of here.
How about them Georgia Bulldogs? Don't end the show talking about that. Don't do that.
Y'all playing Fort Sam Houston this weekend. That's like, come on, man.
You know how hard it is. Anybody ever told you heavy is the head that wears the crown? We gotta relax, baby.
We wore that crown. We wore that crown before. Matter of fact, y'all where we at? Y'all trying for 3
years like we did. Are y'all the back-to-back national champions?
Currently, we're not. I give you that.
I know who currently is.
Shout out Georgia Bulldogs. Hey, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Hit me up. Holler at me Monday morning. First Formation Morning Sports Talk. We out of here. Yeah. Peace.
The tunes aren't good. All right. Company 10.